having to start all the time. But obviously that's due to because it's the lineup. Because if there was a lot of pace on the flanks, and
King.
there was a number 10, or even if they played like a free in midfield, let's say, which gave Kane the license to drop in. So let's say they play with no number 10, but they played a midfield three of, I don't know, Declan, Cobby, and Trent, let's say. Then Harry Kane dropping in would work because he's got
who
no
would you
one.
play? Who would you play on the left and the right?
What, from the squad now?
Yeah.
So my team I'll play. I mean, there's no point going through a defense because that's just a mess, really. But I would play, as I said, Declan Rice, Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah.
Foden in the 10, Eze from the left, Cole Palmer from the right, and I'd play Ivan Toney or Harry Kane. Well, I play Ivan Toney.
See, I like Eze and I like Cole Palmer. Both of them are going to invert.
Yeah, that's why I played it.
And my only issue is Kyle Walker, as long as he gets up and down, that's great. Yeah. But on the left, is it Trippier? He wants to cut in all the time.
But this is the problem Phil Foden's having because, and this is why Gareth Southgate is a poor manager again.
Yeah.
Because he decided to bring one left-footed defender, no one else. That was him. Yeah, and he brought the guy that was injured. Yeah. Now the problem he's got is that because the media are clamoring for Foden to play. Yeah, and Foden should be playing, but he's having to fit Foden in on the left. And the problem is, Foden is not a winger. He's not someone that's going to go on the outside, and take on his man. Bukayo Saka is probably more suited to that than what Foden is. Yeah. Because Bukayo Saka is quicker than Foden, and Bukayo Saka, the way that he plays, is more likely to go on the outside. The problem that Foden has is that Foden's got no overlapping runner.
Exactly.
Which is killing his game. And he's playing on the left-hand side. So, again, why he decided to bring one left-footed defender is a mistake on the manager. Like, at least bring, I mean, I'm not his biggest fan, but Ben Chilwell. I mean, you at least want to bring him because he will offer the overlapping. And even though Foden is technically on the wrong side of where he normally plays, at least he's going to have that option of an overlapping fullback, which will allow him to come inside. But he hasn't got that option now. So Anthony Gordon becomes even more, an urge to play because if Trippier's always inverting, Anthony Gordon wants to go on the outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is for me, Southgate, like I said before, he's I don't think he's a bad manager. I think he's average. Especially on the international stage. I think if he was in league football, he'd get destroyed.
Yeah. 100%.
I think he'd get exposed way more. But with England and on the left-hand side, I mean, even Gomez, who he brought, who is great in terms of an option in different positions, he's going to want to cut in. He can overlap. He can do that. But the consistency of his ball, of the ball with his left foot is not going to be there.
Yeah.
He doesn't trust Gordon, so what was the point in bringing Gordon? Eze should have gotten more game time. Same with Toney. So there's a bunch of things he should have. He's neglected to do, and where I don't like him for, what I don't like him for, is he's basically thrown the players under the bus for in name of his system that he doesn't really have. Like if I was to say to most people, describe his style of play. Like, what's his brand of football? Nobody knows. If you to look at Foden and what he's done for Man City are able to create space and ping people in the box because they spread the game out. So you got Rodri pinging balls out to the left, to the right. You've got Foden able to cut in. You've got Doku, or you've got what's his name? Are you doing, brain? I can't believe my head's gone blank. What's his name? Grealish, yeah. They'll stick out wide, they'll create that width, and then they'll get an overlapping run. And even though it's from a left-sided centre-back, they'll still get that they'll still get that run. And they have that balance. But what he's chosen to do is, one, waste a bunch of friendlies. Just waste them.
Yep.
Two, bring an incomplete and imbalanced squad and then blame them for not fitting what he wanted.
Mm.
Now, considering the fact that I've never liked him, yeah, I've never liked this guy, and
Yeah.
because of '96, yeah, even '96, I was a little kid. I was watching Gaz. I was getting gassed. Get me? And then I watched that penalty shootout. Hated him since then. Don't like the guy, but
Yeah.
for me, the choices he's making is kind of going against what
What
we
he's set
actually
to do.
have as a team. It doesn't make sense. That's my problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So when I watch I watch a lot of the commentators, whether it be Rooney or someone else, I get the opinion that they're biased because they want it a certain way, and because I'm like, nah, Trent's a bad man. Ramos
Yeah.
got like you telling me you can't play in midfield when if you watch Liverpool play, basically plays in midfield. When we need a goal, he definitely plays in midfield. Do
Yeah.
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I forget like against Tottenham before, I think it was. So when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, Declan Rice is amazing. Bellingham is amazing. All these players are amazing, but the way he's tried to get them to fit together doesn't make sense for tournament football, let alone league football.
Mm.
And I know when we were talking before, it was like, okay, but how much time does a manager have to implement a system and a style? Well, he's been managing England for how long? And he's had most of these players for a very long time.
Mm.
He's been to, is it his third tournament?
It's his fourth, I believe, because
Fourth,
he
yeah.
had the what? Yeah, two Euros now, World Cup. Has he had two World Cups or one?
I think it's one.
Oh, because they got to the semi-final, that didn't they?
Yeah.
Semi-final,
And
Euro. I'm
Euros,
pretty sure it's his fourth.
okay. So looking at what he's done, I still can't say what his style of play is. When I look at other international managers over
Yeah,
the years, I can
yeah,
say that okay, they like to keep it tight. They play counter-attacking football.
yeah,
They're even the best example for me was Spain. Spain literally took what Barcelona was doing and brought that into the first team.
yeah, yeah. Of
So
course, of
into
course.
the international team and
Yeah,
won tournaments. But
yeah,
what he's tried to do, I think, is take aspects of like City, for example,
yeah,
mix it with his own ideas, and then bring it in when he hasn't got the players
yeah,
to fit what he has in his head. So when I'm looking at like Cold Manu, if I was a Man United fan, I wouldn't want him anywhere near the starting 11.
yeah, yeah. No, I didn't want him in the squad personally. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna go,
Mm,
but for me, obviously, Kobe's young, and I'd prefer him to get a rest. But the fact that Southgate and even Adam Walton as well, these
yeah.
guys ain't gonna play. It's just a waste of time for them. You know, it's
I
more
don't
for the
want them
experience.
to. I want them to perform for the country. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but I don't want them to be thrown under the bus. I prefer it to be a Kane, a Trent, a Rice, a Bellingham, someone who's got a bit more experience about
experience.
them. So
Yeah,
I'll give you an example. The other day when I think it was the last friendly, I think it was the
mm.
newspapers
Oh
after
yeah,
we lost.
the black ice thing, Saka.
Yeah, yeah. So he was on the pitch for all the 15 minutes, I think, at most.
Mm.
But then he was the poster child on in the papers. And that's what you've always gotten with England, especially since he's taken over. In the past, you had it, yeah.
Yeah,
But because a lot of our top players or big name players are now black, you get that side of it in the media. So it brings up, okay, are they just being like, are they critiquing? Are they taking it a step too far? And then what I'm thinking is that it's a bit of both
mm.
because
Mm.
they see him as okay, these guys missed the penalty and they're still not delivering. But then it's like with Saka, for example, because his expectations are through the roof. Yeah. A lot of people will rightly so expect him to come on and change the game. And if he doesn't come on and change the game, I can understand them blaming him. But then for all the things that went wrong in that game, it was wrong to target these players.
Yeah.
Now, so I think a lot of it is tribalism and then people are just unreasonable and looking for a story. These guys make headlines.
Yeah.
So I think it's like it's not just a color thing. I think it's like a amalgam of different reasons, all
Lens,
to drive clicks.
let me tell you this now, yeah. Like I'll pull no punches in what I say. Like it is about that. Like let's just call it
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is. Yeah. Now I've been onto this even with Man United because Man United have a massive racial issue in my opinion, and this has been going on for ages. Obviously I've got a platform now that I speak on it, you know,
yeah.
but this goes on at Man United because even if you look at the likes of Rasmus Højlund, who's terrible, and Garnacho,
Rashford.
who's poor as well, a lot of
Yeah,
these fans, especially from the local fan base, they're only backing these players because not because I generally think they're that good. It's because it's become a bit of a us versus them battle, you know, because you might get a lot of the people that will back Sancho, Martial that was there, um, obviously Pogba as well.
yeah,
But the reality is these players are just better players. It's nothing to do with color. They're just better players. But I find a lot with the local fan base, they're just backing these players because it's become a white versus a black thing, and that is a fact. You know, because if you look at as well with the Man United team, Man United have never really had black players that have been the leading figures in their team. I mean, yeah, people will say we had Dwight York and Andy Cole, but you also
yeah.
had Sheringham, Solskjaer, Beckham,
Rio
Scholes.
Ferdinando as well.
Yeah, but my point is, when I'm saying the leading players of the team,
Yeah,
there was
like
a
the
time.
greats, the greats. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what I mean, sorry, is that there was a period where Man United had Pogba, Martial, and Rashford. And if
Yeah,
you was to say who are the three best players in the team, it would be them three, and they're all
yeah,
brothers. Yeah. So the problem is now with Man United is that the local fan base don't want that because they were clamoring for other strikers that weren't black really to be in a
yeah.
team ahead of Martial. Then people were